Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Joseph Bradley. I'm going to talk a little bit of my understanding of what dimensions are, what a 3D, 4D, and 5D reality. My understanding is dimensions, the way I see them, are unlimited. So there's a lot of people putting specific attention on 4D and 5D, and that how like ascension would be we move into a 4D or 5D reality. My understanding is a 3D reality is what the physical earth is right now, and a lot of people are saying they're living in a 4D and 5D reality. That is very open to interpretation for a lot of individuals, and there's a lot of topics, a lot of discussions based on it. So I want to basically go to the spirit realm and see what their idea is of what a 4 and 5D reality is, and if we're actually living in that, or if it's even possible to live in that reality at this point in time. My personal opinion on the subject is that I see dimensions as infinite. And when people say that we're living in a 4D reality in a 3D world, or a 5D reality in a 3D world, I say the only way that we can live in a 4 or 5D reality is to move the earth into that dimensional space, to truly live in it like 100% of the time. Like when we can journey into a 4 or 5D reality, but we don't live in one. We live in a 3D reality. That's my understanding. And the only way to go into a 4 or 5D reality is to change the vibration of the earth, or move the earth into that specific dimensional space, which is something that I think the future of mankind, if they work together, they can actually create and change the vibration of the world, so we can actually move towards that interdimensional space without realities of 4 or 5D. But a lot of people believe that there's like 40-50% of the population living in a 4 or 5D reality. If that was the case, then we'd be able to walk through walls, we'd be able to fly, like physics wouldn't even exist. So are we really truly living in a 4 or 5D reality, or we're wishing deep down inside that mankind could move towards that so we could finally live in peace and harmony? So is it possible to live in a 4 or 5D reality in a 3D dimension? I believe at this time, no, because if we were, we would be able to, like I said before, we would be able to fly, would be able to not eat. It's something that we can strive towards as a human race, to raise a vibration, which then will raise the vibration of the world. But truly, do we live in a 4 or 5D reality? Think about that for a second. If 4 or 5D reality is a spiritual space that you can create things instantly with your mind, I would like somebody to come forward and show me that that is possible, that they are able to fly, they are able to walk through walls, they're able to create miracles. Just like truly come forward and show me, because at this point in time, I don't know anybody that can do that. We can travel to different dimensions, yes, and we can speak to spiritual realms, yes, but are we living in a 4 or 5D reality? Or are we living in a 3D reality with hopes that we were living in a 4 or 5D reality? I think that is a reality check in general. There's a lot of people that will disagree with me. But what is your understanding of a 4 or 5D reality then? My understanding is a 5D reality or 4D reality is a spiritual dimension. And when I go to the spiritual dimension, things are done with a thought. They're instantaneous. You can fly, you can go through walls, like I said before. So what makes it a 5D reality? What makes it a 4D reality? Are we truly living in that reality? Well, let's just see what the spirit realm states on this subject. Just give me one moment. I'm getting a lot of different types of spirits appearing in front of me. Some are are darker, some are lighter, and they're all yelling, "Look at me," type thing. I'm the one you need to speak to. And a lot of them are appearing all around me and are saying that I'm the one you need to talk to. I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the one, I'm the one. It gets extremely confusing. I don't want to talk to any of these, so I spin really fast and go right up into the air and go above the earth and look down at the earth. It's quiet up here. It's silent. There's not all the yelling of the spirits trying to get me to speak to them. They're saying that they're the ones that you need to talk to. Maybe we just need to go within ourselves to talk to ourselves to find the truth. And as I speak that, there's a wave that comes out of me that goes like a mini explosion all across the solar system out into the universe. And I'm sitting there with my legs crossed, looking down at the earth from above. In total silence. And it feels really good. It's like there's so many things, there's so many people, there's so many spirits that we listen to all the time. But if we go into space and be completely silent, there's only you, nothing else. I have a circle of spirits that appear around me. They don't say a word. They're totally silent. And they ask me, what do I see when I look at the earth? I see a world that always listens to everybody else except themselves. And I say, well, what does that have to do with the 3 and 5D and 4D realities? They say until you learn to listen to yourself, you'll never be able to go to a 4 or 5D reality. You'll be trapped within the earth in this 3D reality for eternity. Because until you listen to the quiet parts of your soul, you'll never understand what 4 or 5D truly means. You will never be able to go beyond it. Instead, everybody listens to everyone else, to everything else, and everybody argues about who is right and who is wrong. All of you are wrong. And what do you do about that? If I say to you, you are all wrong, what would you do? Would you whine? Would you sulk? Would you take a temper tantrum? Would you jump up and down? Would you blame everybody? He turns around and tells me to follow him. And it's not just him, there's this whole series of spirits that walk with him. And I walk behind him. And I have spirits all along beside me that go behind me like a kind of like a pyramid shape, and I'm close to the tip of the pyramid. And we're just walking in space. We start moving really quickly, and starlight flies back in long streaks like going warp speed. We're going really fast in circular pattern, an S pattern, the circular pattern again, and we just going all over the place, all different directions. No specific pattern at this point. It's super fast, but we're not going anywhere at all. We're just going all over the place. And we stop, and we're exactly the same place we were. This is what it is like when we look down at the earth. Everybody's moving so fast in every direction, but nobody ever goes anywhere. You just keep going in circles and crazy patterns, thinking that you're going places really quickly, but nobody's going anywhere at all. He puts his finger and pushes me back on the chest, right in the center where my heart was. And he says, "Who follows their heart? Do you? Do any of you truly follow your heart?" And I say, all I can do is try. And he looks at me right in the eyes and says, "Is that good enough?" And all I can hear is the screams of the earth behind me, the screams of women, babies, children, wars. I said, "Is it good enough?" Is it good enough just to try? Or is there something else that you have to do? I say, I don't know, because all I can do is try. I don't know what else to do. You just go through life and try to be the best person you can be. So I asked everybody that is watching this video, the Spirit is speaking through me to you. What are you doing? Are you following your heart? Are you trying to do the best you can do and best you can be? Because until you all start trying, you will always be stuck in a 3D reality. Never be able to move beyond it. We will not allow it. You're not ready yet. None of you, even you, are not ready yet. It is not that we're trying to be mean. You would create so much chaos in the universe. You would create so much chaos. You can't even live in a 3D reality without destroying yourselves. So what do you think you'd do if you moved to a 4D reality with the limited understanding you do now? What would you do when you moved to a 5D reality with a limited understanding? Do you not understand what is 4 or 5D to you? You all know the spirit realm is really complex. You do not understand the basic structures of anything, but you think you know everything about everything, especially the universe, about life. So why do you think you deserve to move to a 4 or 5D reality? Why do you think you deserve it? When you die, what do you believe happens to you? Do you move into a 4 or 5D reality? There's one thing for sure. He waves his hand and he shows me circles. So you say this is what to you? A 5D reality or a 3D or 4D reality? He hits his foot on the ground and all of a sudden we're surrounded by billions of circles. What if I told you this was only the 3D reality? And what if I hits his foot again and their circles become extremely small, the size of a grain of sand? What if I said this was still a 3D reality? And we expand really, really large, and it looks like a grain of sand now is a 3D reality. And he said, what if I said that grain of sand is a 3D reality and all the space up to we are is a 4D reality? And you look and there's an infinite number of 4D realities and infinite number of 5D realities beyond that. There is no dimensional spaces called 4D or 5D or even 3D. There's an infinite space. It's infinite. There's no way of putting a number on it. You could not understand the complexities of anything, so that's why we give it names. That's why you give it names. So we can try to get you to understand the infinite. That's why some people believe and some people do not. If I draw a line and I take that line and I spread it out in infinite direction, and I have a trillion other lines on top of it, a trillion other lines underneath it, I can make a space the size, as thickness as 1 inch, with a trillion things in between each one. And if you shrink down to the right size, it would be an infinite space. It's impossible to put numbers on dimensional spaces to the spirit realm. But I understand why you do it, so you can understand at least a little bit of what really is and what expansion is, and kind of bring it into some type of complex understanding that is understandable by you. Do you deserve to move for the 4D or 5D reality? We say no to that, but it does not mean you can never move towards it. It just means you're not ready yet. It means that the people that say that a 4 or 5D reality they're living in it, they are lying to you. They are not speaking the truth. They're speaking a lie to every one of you, because none of you are in a 4 or 5D reality when you live in a 3D reality. It is impossible. At least with your understanding, with your the level of learning that you are at now. So why focus on things that you are not living in? Focus on things that you are living in. When you focus on the 3D reality, then you will truly start to live. And only then go within yourself to find out and expand your understanding, so eventually you will all move into a different understanding. The earth will move in a direction that you all seek. But who all seeks it? 1,000,000 people, 1,000 people, 100,000? How many do truly understand what you're speaking? How many people on earth even care about a 4 or 5D, even care about love and the understanding that you're trying to say? We are not trying to be mean. We're speaking to all of you that if you want to move to a 4D or 5D reality, you have to go within yourself, live in a 3D reality to truly understand yourselves. That's why you came here. That's why you're here, to learn. You're not here to live in a 4 or 5D reality. You do that when you die. You understand everything when you leave the 3D reality. Until then, you need to live in a 3D reality and not beyond that. Only dab into the understanding so you can grow within yourself to truly find out the truth. We are tired of the lies. We are tired of the misunderstanding of everything that you are speaking on this earth. How many people out there, I'm talking to the people in this video, how many people out there lie on a constant basis in order to make a profit, to make money, to deceive? In the name of the spiritual realm, the name of God, the name of love, how many people lie, deceive, cheat in order to make a profit? How many people spread fear on things that are absolutely ridiculous in order to make a profit, in order to enslave people's minds, to keep them in fear? Your own governments, your own spiritual teachers. How many of you lie on a constant basis and do not speak the truth? When you start to realize that so many of you lie on a constant basis, you have the audacity to say that you live in a 4 or 5D reality when you don't even live in a 3D reality. Because people who lie, people who tell, people who create fear do not even live in a 3D reality. They live lower than that. They live in a dimensional space that brings in darkness throughout the world. They are afraid of love. They do not understand it. People who create fear, hate, we are tired of it. We want you to understand. We want you to look in the mirror at all yourselves. Every one of you, look in the mirror. When was the last time you spread love to humanity? When was the last time you did good for one another? There will be people that would say they did just yesterday, just this morning, just a few minutes ago. But there will be a lot that will stay in silence because they cannot speak or utter anything. What would happen to the world if we only allowed people to speak that spoke the truth? Would the world fall into silence? Or will the world be full of chatter and stories? So when You are ready. This world will move. This world will grow and expand, and it will become a beautiful place. But we ask you all, why do you follow lies, deceit, fear, instead of love and deep understanding? You follow shallow reflections of humanity instead of the deeper understanding. You are all puppets. You follow like sheep. You seek the truth in all the wrong places and condemn the ones that speak the truth. You condemn the ones that speak the truth because it makes you feel uncomfortable. But you say you want to seek the truth, but when you get it, you're afraid of it, you're fearful of it. So you shun the people that speak it. So if you live in a 4 or 5D reality, you would understand all of this stuff. You'll understand that spreading lies, deceit, misinformation, to rape, to murder, to condemn, to judge, is even below a 3D reality. So you have no clue what a 4 or 5D reality really means. That's all I have to say. That was a kind of a harsh message. I did not expect that. Anyway, so the basic understanding of that is my own feelings is not that they're hateful towards us. They're disappointed in us. They're disappointed that people take advantage of each other. They're disappointed that people spread mistrust and lies, but say they're here to teach humanity, but they're not here to teach. They're here to mislead, mistrust, so they can make money from it. They can make a profit. They can make themselves feel superior to one another. That's all I'm going to say on this subject. Thank you very much. I'm Joseph Bradley. You can visit my website at www.josephbradleyauroras.com or www.amonrasawakening.com. Thank you very much, everyone, and have a good